you so much, sir, for giving us your time out of your busy schedule.
No problem.
So, you are a winner after a long battle. I'll not ask you how does it feel, because I know it obviously feels very great. So, I just want to ask you, what remains the core agenda of NC now?
Look, NC's political agenda or political ideology does not change. NC's political ideology doesn't change from election to election. We are committed to our political ideology. We believe that what was promised to Jammu and Kashmir at the time of accession is our right. It's our birthright. That said, we're also realistic. We know that it's not going to happen in the term of this government. They are the ones who took it away from us. Farooq Saab has time and again said कि ये लंबी लड़ाई है, इसमें 100 साल भी लग सकते हैं. हम अब मुद्दा जिंदा रखेंगे. We will keep the issue alive. But we have to focus on other things also. This was not a single issue election. It's not that we fought this election on only one point. We fought this election on multiple points. We owe it to the people to work towards that. So National Conference's political ideology remains the same.
They gave you the mandate. Do you think this mandate was against the decision that BJP took on?
Look, well, clearly it wasn't in favor of that decision, because if it had been in favor of that decision, the BJP would have won.
Right.
The fact that the BJP is not in a position to form a government would suggest that the people of Jammu and Kashmir, the majority of them, I won't say all of them, but the majority of the people of Jammu and Kashmir have not endorsed what was done on 5th August 2019. And that's a fact. We were not consulted and we were not part of that decision. But we will now move forward and see what we can do.
So now there will be meetings with LG. There will be meetings within the party, the legislature meetings. So when are we expecting those meetings?
Well, the first meeting will be the National Conference Legislative Party meeting, which will take place tomorrow afternoon at about 12:30. I assume the Congress will do its own meeting. There will have to be an alliance meeting because at the end of the day we have to go to the Lieutenant Governor with letters of support. So once we have the leadership of the alliance settled, once we have the letters of support in place, then I assume that person will go to Raj Bhavan, meet the Lieutenant Governor and ask him to fix a time for the swearing in.
So what kind of representation would it be? Will we see a congressman as a deputy in the government? As Farooq Abdullah Saab said that Omar Abdullah will be the chief minister.
Look, as much as I love my father and I'm grateful for his continued support, as the president of the party, he will put that proposal to the legislative party. It is for the legislative party to decide yes or no. And therefore, we leave it to them. Let that decision be taken by tomorrow. Now, as far as what will the government look like, I think that again is something for the incoming chief minister to decide. What sort of government he would like or she like, whether they would like to have a deputy CM or not, where that deputy CM will come from, all that will have to be decided.
So, the 5 nominated members that LG is going to, give the names. So, do you think it will have an impact on the assembly?
Well, it will have an impact in as much as it will increase the strength of the assembly. But it will have no impact on the government. Because even with these 5, the BJP is not in a position to form a government. And therefore, I would hope that this will not be done. That if any nominations take place, they take place on the advice of the government. Let the government give its input and let that input form the basis of the nominations. I don't think it's fair. Look, these nominations are basically to give a voice to marginalized communities who don't have enough representation, be it migrants, refugees or women. Why should you put their representation in the opposition? Their representation should be in the government. There is a reason why nominations happen to the treasury benches and not the opposition benches. It's so that they derive some benefit from these nominations. I don't think either the migrants or the refugees or the women will get as much benefit from sitting in the opposition as they will from being part of the government.
So, will Congress be the part of your cabinet?
Well, we are a coalition. I would like to assume that the Congress will have a role in the cabinet, but it's not my cabinet. It is the cabinet of the coalition. The leader of the coalition is yet to be decided.
So you have been talking in your manifesto, you talked about statehood, you talked about Article 370. So in case you will have to move to court, will you...
On what issue? On the issue of statehood?
Statehood, right.
Look, I don't want to get into that right now. I don't want to start this sort of new relationship with issuing threats and talking about court cases. I believe that statehood is a right for Jammu and Kashmir, and it should be given. So let's not get into what if they don't give, what will you do. We'll cross that bridge if we get to it. I hope that statehood is not a matter of a fight and that it is given to Jammu and Kashmir.
So are your doors open for independent candidates who won these assembly elections? Like we already saw one candidate approaching MC who won from...
We have been in conversation with some of the independents, and let's see. We'll see what is possible.
So the doors are open for all.
Oh, look, I mean that's a very sweeping generalization. At the moment, we're talking to the independents. We are talking to people who want to talk to us. We can't force people to talk to us. जो हमसे बात ना करना चाहें, उन्हें हम जबरदस्ती खींच के तो नहीं लाएंगे. But those who are willing to talk to us, who want to work with us, we're happy to work with them.
So do you say Kejriwal-like treatment by centre in running a smooth government can happen in Jammu?
Look, I don't want to predict what will happen. I have been saying in numerous interviews that I hope that there is a good working relationship between the government of Jammu and Kashmir and the government of India. Let's see what happens.
So you have been Chief Minister before also. So how will be Omar Abdullah different in this new role?
I don't have a new role yet. But I promise you, if I get that role, I'll sit down with you and you can ask me that question then.
So you made promises to the people during your election campaign. To begin with, which ones would be the first ones you
No, I think all promises are important. Some promises we can fulfill as a union territory. Some will require us to be a state. So we'll start prioritizing those once we're in government.
So what challenges lie ahead if you become the Chief Minister?
Well, whoever becomes Chief Minister will have challenges. This is a learning experience for us. None of us have an experience of working in a union territory. For us in the National Conference, we've been out of power. Even in the Congress, we've been out of office for the last 10 years. So we're all a little rusty. We've had no democracy in Jammu and Kashmir since 2018. So we'll take some time, but we'll find our way.
I remember your statement when you were CM. You said that it's like a crown of thorns.
Well, everybody says that. I think my grandfather said it to my father. Others have said it in other parts of the world. Look, I'm not going to use the word crown because that has sort of regal connotations. But it's not an easy job. But it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be a challenge. But it's a challenge that I think we will accept knowing that we have to live up to expectations of people.
So how much has Omar Abdullah changed as a person, as a politician since the last time?
Oh, well, we all change. We change every day. I've changed in the last few months. So I'm 10 years older. I'd like to believe I'm 10 years wiser, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm only 2 or 3 years wiser in these 10 years. But we all learn. We all learn as we go forward. So I'm... I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. You will have to decide that.
All right. So, do you think there were mistakes, made in the last term, and that you?
Look, everybody makes mistakes. We're human.
You would like to rectify now?
Well, I'll make sure that we don't make the same mistakes again. I hope we don't make too many mistakes. We will make mistakes. All human beings make mistakes. I hope they're not large mistakes. But also, I will endeavor to ensure that whichever government we form as an alliance, we don't repeat past mistakes.
Thank you so much for talking.
Okay, pleasure.